EG technology screens. So as we know, we have some weirdos on our account. And one of the weirdos goes by the name, full and real name, is Derrick Franklin Williams. So, Derrick Franklin Williams basically was a fellow for some reason. He's actually attached to Jamie. Jamie, you do know this at the end of the day, that any crimes he commits, because they're going to know, how do we know him by affiliation? Well, we know him because of you, because he's one of your friends. So you're already in enough trouble as it is. This is going to make things far more complicated for your case altogether. But anyway, let's get back to Williams. So Williams basically decided to basically start talking all this trash about me on YouTube. We don't know the guy. I've never met the guy before ever. He just happened to pop up somewhere and feel that he would jump on the bandwagon and start carrying on and acting up. Mr. Williams, you have gotten yourself into some really bad trouble. See, those letters you sent to me, those letters have fresh fingerprints on them. They're sealed inside. And my friend was able to lift your prints. And he was able to run some background checks on you. And you've been in trouble before. So we have quite an amount of extensive information on you now. Not only that, I went to multiple agencies. Actually, there's a couple of crimes that you committed. One of them is called unwanted communications. This is where someone sends you messages. Now, mind you, multiple times to your address. They can be charged for this. It's a form of stalking. And yes, even though it goes to the United States Postal Service, it's still considered to be a form of cyber stalking, which means this can carry a term of 20 years in jail. If you are convicted of basically any form of postal fraud, this can carry time up to 30 years. Is it 30 or 20? I think it's 20 years in jail. So you're looking at roughly about an easy 40 years. That's what you're looking at. An easy 40 years. I am going to be making my way up to the post office to have a little conversation with some people and show them the letters that we have received and see where we have to go to and who we have to talk to and where we have to go to file additional charges. Now, mind you, any additional charges we file will be redirected back to your building. I already have communications with actually a few of the building managements that are over in that particular tower on the problems we've been having with Mr. Williams. And Mr. Williams, you can understand this, I was told clear that they have got an attorney to handle your situation on basically bringing you to court for basically termination of lease. Because that's what happens when they bring those lawyers in. They're only designed for one thing. They're designed basically to terminate the lease. That's what they're for. So they're going to bring, the building's going to bring him to court, and he's going to be charged with substantial evidence. But we're not done yet with them. We've still got more stuff to send to them. We're going to make sure there's enough evidence there to have you removed out of the building. And that's not the worst of your problem. The worst of your problem is the prison time that will be coming up behind that, because I will be in contact again with the Baltimore Police Department. We can get a hold of an investigator, let them know we've been in communication with the building, with the managers, and the letters we have, oh man, we couldn't ask for anything more. It's more than enough to get the job done. I will be sending, actually we sent some down to them so they can get a chance to look at your handiwork. You know that glitter you put in there? Actually, I put that in one of the packages. That's going back to them. To let them know that you were filling the letters up with glitter and sending them over. So, doesn't look good for you right now. It really doesn't. It looks extremely bad. So, anything that comes through here, anything we receive, anything that happens, it'll all be redirected back to your building, to your the building management will direct it straight to them. Our building assistants or leasing office will go straight to them. Until then, I will be contacting the post office. We will be contacting the FBI because we have enough letters. We have your fingerprints, which is the gem of all gems at the end of the day. We do have an extensive amount of your information right now, including even birth records and everything else you could possibly think of under the sun. We have it. Again, he has no one to blame for himself. And I just sat there and had this talk about following the devil. I literally told you that. And he got you to send over fresh letters to have your fingerprints intact on the inside. See, the thing about lifting prints is that sometimes they can be basically disrupted if you have, what's the word for it? If you have someone already touching it. But these are sealed inside the envelope, which means they're preserved. And then showing that we've already contacted your building. I had contact with your building last month. As a matter of fact, you contacted Selena Bird. I know her. She's on my Facebook account. Selena Bird's on my Facebook account. Very nice lady at the end of the day. I talked to her. She's the first one we made contact with about where you're at. And you're not in the low rises. And then looking at the videos, that we've seen of you carrying on and acting up, we saw that window there, and that window is where the high rises have them. So I'm in talk with the building management and leasing in your building, and the lawyer that they're getting right now for all the evidence we have, that's a lawyer that's going to be issuing your eviction out of the building. So you're already on your way out. But the letters you sent here shows your activity is still active. That's where you messed up even worse. So this additional evidence is all they really need. But we want to make sure they have enough. So emails are being transferred over today where you're contacting us, posing as a minister. We went to several agencies, put in a complaint that you are a fake minister, that you've been scamming people, that you have been taking money from people for donations. That particular agency will be involved. I'll be sending over documents for them for that. We'll be contacting the United States Postal Service. I have to go through there and follow a post office mail fraud complaint like I did with Fernando and give them that information. I want to let them know we got several major agencies, including my lawyer will make a contact with them, let them know that we are filing a lawsuit. So their time on their end, I'm glad they are cooperating, because if they weren't, we can literally sue your building. And since it's public housing and it belongs to your state, we can sue your state also. Yeah, you've made a lot of trouble at the end of the day, a lot of trouble. And you know what you did, Mr. Williams? This is what you did. It made it even worse. You made it hard for single black men to enter that building. Because a person and what they're going to go through, you made it harder, less for everyday Joe that may want to get into a place like that. You stain that for other people. You're the worst type of African American, and I'll tell you why. You're the kind that make our people look bad. You're the worst type. You're the worst type. You get opportunities to get in places that we need to get into, and you go in there and you mess it up for everybody else. That's what you are. You're ignorant. I've seen your posts. I hate to say it, I'm going to be wrong. You're a very ignorant individual. Ranting in the apartment, screaming and yelling and carrying on. Dude, you're in public housing. Do you understand how that works at the end of the day? Show some respect at the end of the day. I've seen people coming into your public housing, they're very respectful, very nice and all. You're giving them a bad name at the end of the day. That's the first thing people say. I don't want to move to public housing. They got a bunch of hoodlums up in there. They don't know how to act right up in there. Just, man, you better up just basically just getting your own spot. Don't even bother with them. They just, there you go. You're a bad reputation for them. When there's a lot of nice people in public housing. A lot of respectable people get up in the morning, they work a nice job, they come back in, they take care of their kids, they take care of their family. You make public housing look bad. You're a very ignorant individual. You broke multiple crimes in this unit, including we got videos of you carrying on and spazzing out. In these videos, I sent them over to them. They got their videos. Delete all you want, doesn't make a difference. We have copies on everything. So, agencies I'll be reaching out today, Mr. Williams, they carry serious jail time if you're prosecuted. And you will be prosecuted. You know why? We got your fingerprints on all the evidence. So you are going to jail. When you contacted the low rises and you sat there and said, what did you say out of your mouth? I know, I talked to her. You sat there and you said, someone's saying that I'm doing all kinds of stuff. In some term, you put it that way. And what did she say to you? She said, you better cut it out or you're going to jail. Did she not say that to you? All right then. Now I'm here to tell you you're going to jail. So when I get done talking to Baltimore police, when I get done sending over our documents and all the problems we have over here, over to them, including 2 fresh letters with your fingerprints on the inside, you're going to jail. And when they come to that building for you and they go to talk to property management, because they're going to need your apartment number, they're going to tell you that we've had problems with them also too, because the fellow who contacted you also contacted us and sent this down detailed information showing that he was harassing the building that he was in and carrying on that, stalking us. He sent us his YouTube channel where he was basically showing pictures of this guy over and over again. You have an unhealthy obsession with me. So with that being said, they got evidence, police got evidence, you're going to jail. Well, way to screw your life up. Now see, my day is going to start off with me doing demonstrations. I got to go be out and see a couple of sites real quick. I'm looking at a warehouse. I'm warehouse shopping right now. We got orders on the table. I'm going over to England today. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. And you, on the other hand, you're facing an eviction notice. Don't worry about homeless. You got a place you're going. You're facing that maybe 46 years in a prison system. You're facing that massive lawsuits. It ain't going well for you. This is going to be a very bad summer for you. Oh, I forgot. And an additional 7 years for identity theft for impersonating a priest. Because they all know that. I let them know that you've been impersonating a minister and you have been collecting money. You know, your social worker knows about that too also too. So you know that. She will get information on that too also. You're finished. You're done. You've literally managed to wreck your entire life with a bunch of letters. For the money that you paid for the postage to have those letters sent here, that's how much money you cost in your life. That little bit of percentage, just that little bit, costs you everything. That's the one thing you're going to think about the most when you're in the holding cell. When life is passing you by. When I'm out here enjoying my life, and everybody out there is enjoying their life, you'll be sitting in that prison cell. And what's going to go through your mind? Shouldn't have did it. I could have been doing something far better than doing that. Whatever percent that you paid at the end of the day to have those envelopes come here, you ruined your life. That's all we needed. I put your letter in the Bible. I prayed, I put it in the Lord's hands and said, Lord, we need this person, we need him behind bars, we need him arrested, he's just carrying on and acting up, I need you to deal with this, help me with this. No sooner than that letter went in there, your letters came in. A bunch of them, more than enough to prosecute you. When someone is stalking you, you have to show that it's a pattern. You have to show you're getting multiple letters from the same person. It has to be a pattern. The pattern behind Mr. Williams is his handwriting. His handwriting matches every single letter. My buddy does that kind of stuff for a living. He went over your letters. Yeah, your handwriting is exactly the same on every single letter. And if you don't put your name up there, it's still the same handwriting. It can get you on the handwriting. You know that, right? Yep. Your signature can get you on a signature. It's evidence. It's your handwriting. Make it even better, your print's on the opposite side of those letters, which he was able to actually cut one open and lift your prints. That's where he ran a background check on you. That's when I tell you we know more about you than you probably know about yourself right now. We got your face. We know what you look like. We got you all over YouTube, plaster, calling yourself minister. Everywhere you're at, you call yourself a minister this and minister that. Yeah, kind of hard to get out of that one, isn't it? Yep. So that's going to be a problem. Anyone that's ever donated and gave him money, which I put an announcement on my Facebook page, which again, like I said, I have a few people that in your building on my Facebook page right now, letting them know if you've been scammed by this individual. I put an agency at the bottom that you can reach and contact to let them know if Mr. Williams has taken money from you claiming to be a minister. That's plastered everywhere. Showing you how to file a complaint against them to get your money back. So, you got a lot of problems now. And that information was sent to them too also. So they need you out of the building. You're leaving, so you can understand that. That's the end of it. That's it. You give the building a bad name right now. The agencies are going to make contact with that building. They're going to get you out of the building as fast as they possibly can. If you haven't already been told already you're in the process of an eviction, I guarantee you've got that information already. But Mr. Williams, if you don't believe me, you think I'm bluffing, go have a conversation with him right now. Go ahead. Go have a conversation with him. And I bet you they tell you at the end of the day that you are in the process of being evicted from the building. I guarantee they tell you that. It ain't your biggest problem right now. Eviction is not your biggest problem. Prison is your biggest problem right now. Now, I'm about to get off this phone. I got some business to take care of. I got some agencies I want to be contacting. And to reach out to several places. We got your letters. We got your prints. We got your face. We got your handwriting. Heck, you might as well be here. Only thing I need next is your DNA. And that's it. I got everything else. We're good. So, you're going to be charged with cyber stalking. Because it involves the post office, it's basically considered to be post office mail fraud, which means that carries a 20-year prison sentence if you're convicted and a $1 million fine. That shouldn't be hard to do right there. Get that taken care of. So I'll get that taken care of today. I have that information. We'll contact some people over here today with your letters. I'll bring your letters with you so you can get pictures of everything. Let me see. And then we're going to file with the Baltimore police for stalking. Stalking is considered to be a federal crime. So again, that's 20 years. So that's 40. How old are you again? Well, I know you can't afford 40 years of your life right now being taken away for that. Using the mail or electronic communications upon threat and harassment of someone is a serious federal crime. Think I'm joking? I'm not joking, Mr. Williams. You just committed a very serious crime, and we have enough letters from you to prosecute you. See, if we got one letter from you, 2, 3, not really enough. We need a lot of those letters. And you gave me more than I needed. That's enough to throw you in jail. So, I'll be in contact with Baltimore Police today. We've already left our information for them to contact them. I believe we'll be contacting someone again and again and again and again and again until we push through. But I don't think it's going to be hard. So, we're going to take your docket number, which I'm going to Allentown Police Department. I'm going to go to records. I file a charge against you for harassment and cyber stalking. I'm going to grab your docket number, and I'm going to take it down and give it to the Baltimore Police. Please know we've had problems. We file for charges down here. Well, okay. Just want to let you know that this is how your morning's starting off. And if you don't believe me and you think I'm bluffing, you go down there and you talk to in leasing. You go talk to them and you explain to them that, hey, someone's making stuff up about me. And they're going to tell you, no one's not making stuff about you. We got evidence. This guy's emailing us stuff at the end of the day. And especially, he's emailing you impersonating a priest. Oh, I got another one sending about you impersonating the priest. I'm going to send them a nice, full, detailed email of your account and basically explaining that you are impersonating and basically rip people. And these are the agencies we contacted to file reports against you. That is considered to be a criminal act. It's also a violation of your benefits. It means you were collecting money at the end of the day. And not only were you collecting money, you were stealing from people claiming you was a minister. You had better have your documents. You don't have your documents. Well, for those you don't know, he doesn't have any documents. He's not a minister. We contacted him. I shot a YouTube video requesting for your degree in biblical Bible studies, your clergy ID. I requested what college did you go to get your degree from, your diploma or certificate of graduation of what school or institute that you graduated from to receive this document, the church that you're actually in, witnesses from the church, 501 IRS form, which is a form you file for one thing, for basically for not paying taxes because you're a church. I bet you $100 that you're walking around with a fake clergy ID and you're probably using it and trying to make people believe that you're a minister so that way you can get discounts. So they get discounts, you know that, right? I guarantee you're doing that. Because you got that word minister plastered everywhere. And we noticed something too, Mr. Williams. If you weren't guilty of what we told you what you were, you wouldn't have removed your Facebook account, which is missing. It's missing. And in that Facebook account shows your face multiple times with links at the bottom requesting and begging people for money. Which is too late because we duplicated your account and they have a copy of your account right now. We had a copy of your account since last month. But we're going to make a detail. I want to make a detailed email with all the information, with the emails that you contacted our company claiming to be a minister, on YouTube claiming to be a minister, on Facebook claiming to be a minister, letters we received from here, you claiming a minister. If you notice, if you look at the letters, none of them say minister on it because you removed it. He already knows he's in trouble for that. But I want their lawyer to get a really good, crystal clear, detailed information of who you are. Oh, by the way, Mr. Williams, remember that time you contacted me in the garage and you were screaming and yelling? I got a recording of it. They had that too also. We also have your voice. Of course, you're talking over YouTube. But we have you making contact with the garage and carrying on and acting up. See how everything has come back to bite you in the face? That's why you have to be careful with the things you do. The very things you can say and do can convict you. I would say have a nice life, but eventually you're not going to have one. I can tell you one thing, you're going back. And you already know what I mean by that. Since we did your background check. Boy, I tell you, some people you get a second chance in life and they wreck it on so many levels. Oh, we got to take apart the... Oh, we took apart the PS4. There's pieces over there. I got them like, oh, we did this apart. I'm kind of thinking that we ripped this thing apart. Yeah, we did take it apart. I'm still gonna see if that yellow paint takes. Yellow paint is a pain in the neck. They used to make really good yellow paint. Now yellow paint, we'll have to get hobby paint. I can't use hobby paint because it's oil based. It'll mess with me. But I'm curious. If not, I'm gonna have to prime the daylights out of this thing to get this paint to take to it. Hopefully it does. 1 out of 10. That's into that. Mr. Williams, you don't hear me speak about this anymore. It's because I'm constantly sending information to your building. And that's what I'm going to be doing for the next couple of days. I'm going to stack so much information over to them, Baltimore for Police, and every agency we can get our hands on to compile enough information to make sure that you don't never see the light of day again. I am going to push to make sure you don't never see the light of day again. Eviction is not your worst problem. Spending the rest of your life behind bars will be. And those letters, they came just in time. So just so you know, same thing you sent here, they have it now. Including 2 additional letters we sent to their front desk. And in the front desk, I said I had an accent. The front desk, the one you put the glitter inside of, that colored glitter, I sent it to them. To let them know that you've been putting stuff in letters and sending it to us. Which is also another serious charge. It's considered to be terroristic threats. Does it make a difference if you put baby powder, anything into a letter that's not supposed to be there and you send it? It's considered to be a terrorist act. There you go. See? Especially to a person that you didn't get consent to send it to. Mr. McAfee, you did the same thing too, didn't you? One of your whatchamacallits came here. I had your prints lifted. Never told you this, did I? Remember I told you that the best thing for you to do was to run as fast as you can, disappear, delete your accounts and all that? Remember that? We have your fingerprints. Had a background check done on you too. So guess what that means at the end of the day? You didn't run fast enough and you didn't run far enough. And I told you to stay out of it, didn't I? So now we're going to prosecute you. We're coming for you. When I'm done with him, you're next. Only thing I'm going to do for you is to make sure you keep your house. I don't think your kids should suffer because you're an idiot at the end of the day and you don't have to act like an adult. But I can guarantee you one thing, you are going to jail. I'm going to copy my company's receipts at the end of the day. Took your face right next to the receipts. Got your handwriting. You signed your name to every single one of these postcards we have over here, right? You're in the same category as he's in. And you signed your name to it. Your full name, Daniel McAfee. Oh well, you're next. When I get done with him, he should take probably about a few days. I got to send a bunch of documents to the building. Anything else, Mr. Williams, on its way? We take pictures of it. It goes to the Baltimore Police. It goes to the Allentown Police. It goes to the post office, and it goes to your building management. Direct contact at their desk. I have an email, personal email from one of the members over there that I can send anything we have, any problems we have directly to them. So you better pray that you didn't send something through, and right now you can't retract it. Till then, if you think I'm bluffing, go have a conversation with them. Let them know that Kenneth Bird sent you. They know who I am. They have all my information. They can reach me out. They can contact me anytime they want. All right then. What's that thing called? Mess around and find out? Yep, that's pretty much what he found out. Ugh. Still want to see what this stuff does real quick. I can use this for the Pac-Man. This is the same color as Pac-Man. Oh, this would stick in there, wouldn't it? Gah. Man, I just got my hands clean. I got to basically go through this all over again. Clean my hands. Ugh. Oh yes! Finally, I got a yellow that actually does look like yellow. All right, so I can see right here, I'm going to do this one section right here. How many coats would it take to coat this? I got plenty of paint, so I don't have to go in and ask. Oh, wait, I got a lot of paint left over. Oh, God is good. God is really good. Do you have any idea how much of this paint leaked out in the box? It was a lot of paint. That's how much paint I have. I'm thinking I got half of it, half a container of paint. That's all I got. It was a lot of paint. Look at that. God bless me to get all my paint back. Never try to analyze a miracle. Look at it as it is. There was a lot of paint in the box. A lot of it. It was so much paint in the box. The box was wet at the bottom. I thought because it rained, I thought they set my box outside, but it wasn't. It was a lot of paint. And you mean to tell me that wow, like nothing came out of it? They don't fill paint all the way to the top. They never do. They never fill it to the top. You can see the container. The container got paint. Like, look at the paint. The paint was all outside the container. It was all over the lid. Everything. Everything was covered in paint in the box. I'm thinking like, okay, maybe this much came out. It was a lot of paint. And you mean to tell me there's nothing left? See, this is what I'm talking about. The miracles of God. The miracles of God. Nothing came out of that. Look at the sides of it. You can tell there's a lot of paint that leaked out of this thing. Yeah, that's amazing. That's what God does. He knows I needed the yellow too. He knows I need the yellow really, really bad. Yeah. Oh, I just thought about that. Don't they make the QME projectors in yellow? We can cyberpunk our projector. We gotta get up the QME and hook it up to the whatchamacallit. The QMEs are cheap too. We get them for like $50. I got Philips coming in. I got Philips Pico projectors coming in. Can't wait to hook those things up. And they're going to be running off our new screens. Okay, I got to show up 2 screens. We got to show up Theater on the Go. That's a 50-inch portable screen. We're getting one of those. And we have to show off, I'm showing up the Quasar technology on site. I got silver screen and one of these screens right here. But we got the portables, and we got the 40, whatchamacallit coming, the Philips portable projectors, and they're free. We give them away for free. I got a company that I contacted, and I can get a good deal from a bulk deal. So that setup comes with a 50-inch screen, Bluetooth speakers, and it comes with Philips portable projectors, all free. Yeah! So pretty soon I'm going to be all over Allentown with this baby having fun with it. So we got to get that projector in here. So, yeah, I can't wait for that. That's going to be freaking cool. Woo! All right. I'm going to get this thing coated in. Y'all have a wonderful day out there. Do not entertain the devil. The devil is nothing but trouble. I sat there and said that on camera. Larry just said this. This man heard nothing I said about the devil being nothing but trouble. It's interesting. They'll sit there and go, well, you're just working with the devil because you're basically trying to prosecute me and throw me in jail. No, buddy, you're backwards on so many levels, it's not even fun. They got the devil has you speaking like an idiot. No, you're in trouble because you did dumb stuff. That's what you did. That's why you're in trouble. You're getting removed out of your building because you did dumb stuff. You got blessings, and you took your blessings and you threw them on the ground and you trampled all over them. That's what you did. I'm doing what any citizen is supposed to do. Someone attacks you, someone comes at your family, whatever, you take it to court, you sue them, you prosecute, you do it by the law. That's what I'm doing. Now, if I'm on here talking about, yeah, we're locking and loading, we're going to be down in about a half an hour to flatten this guy out, that would be wrong. That's doing the devil's work. What comes out of that for me? What comes out of that for me is me getting locked up, going to jail, losing everything that I worked for. That's what comes out of it for me, if I do it that way. I did this God's way. I went and contacted the proper people. You gave me all the information I needed from you because you sent everything over to us. And then from there, I contacted and found out your building. I wouldn't have found out your building if your address wasn't sitting on top of it, but your address was sitting on top of it. Because you thought at the end of the day, and the devil told you, oh, just put your address there. And he'll never figure out what building you're in, what apartment you're in. No, dum-dum, guess what? We can figure out what building you're in. We contact management. Now, even if management doesn't give us the information, we can get a lawyer and subpoena them and get that information out of them if we want to. We let them handle it. This could have went 8 ways from Sunday for them. We could have filed a lawsuit against the building. A lot of things could have went wrong. And if we file a lawsuit against the building, you know what this does at the end of the day? It hurts other people. Now, it hurts them. It makes it harder for other people to get in. It makes them, where they make applications much more harder for other people to get in because of your problem, what you did in that building. because they're going to get sued, and this will take a lot of money out of them. So you know they're going to take that on. They're going to take that on the next Joe that wants to get in there. The next family wants to get in there. The reason why we have these in place because somebody came in here and they did some dirty stuff and we got sued. There's a reason why restaurants used to give out. A restaurant I worked for, they used to give out free food for the homeless. They stopped it. You know why? Because somebody got greedy and sued them and said they got food poisoning, and now they can't give out free food to help people out anymore. They have to take the food and we have to put bleach in it. We have to put all kinds of stuff in it so they can't eat it. You know how messed up that is? Because of one person messed it up for everybody else. That's what you are. So you can sit there and say at the end of the day, oh, well, he's doing, no, I'm not doing the devil's work. I'm doing God's work. Because Lord, you got it mixed up, especially coming from a person who's ripping off and stealing from God. You are the last person to be talking about God. I'm doing it God's way, which means go to court, get a lawyer, go through the proper channels, and your butt's going to jail. That's where you're going. Your butt's going to jail because not because someone's doing something wrong against you, because you did something wrong. I swear, learn to accept your mistakes. That's why I said you guys are kids. You will blame everybody else except for yourselves at the end of the day. Well, don't worry. That person, that denial, that nonsense, you'll be trapped with that person for as long as it takes you to get out of that system. You got all day to spend with yourself. The next couple years you have. So you're going to go there. That's it. That's the end of it. Mr. Williams, you can complain and cry. Go ahead and complain on your channel. Do anything on your channel. I'll send it right back to your building. Everything that's on your channel is being pumped pipeline right back to your building. Everything. Anything that comes here goes to the front desk. It goes straight to them. Before we send it out there, all the different agencies, we take pictures and send everything out. It goes right back. I got everything to send it right back to them. So they're going to get all your letters right back. And guess who gets them? Not just them, the lawyer that's prosecuting, that's getting ready to hand you an eviction notice to get you out of the building. Because that's where the evidence is going. You got it. See, that's the thing about it. You think it's just going to them. No, it's not going to them. The evidence is going to the lawyer. The lawyer represents that building to get you out of the building because you broke the lease. And you ain't got no one to blame but yourself for that one. So if you don't believe me, you go over there and you have a conversation with them. You can mention my name. I don't care. There's a guy by the name of Kenneth Bird in Allentown. And he said that he came over and he says, I'm being removed. Ask him. And they'll say, yeah. They're going to tell you from the door. You're going to be removed from the building. I'm going to send them over some letters too. Actually, we got 2 on the way. I got another 2 more I'm going to send to them. So they'll have your evidence in their hand with their address of their building sitting on top of it. With your fingerprints on the inside showing it came directly from you. You can sit there and say, Mr. Williams, all day long that, oh, somebody else sent them. Somebody else used my address. The problem is your fingerprints on the inside of each one of them. And they're good. They're usable. My buddy lifted them. That's how we're able to do a background check on you and find out some things about you. So you're going back. Ugh, man. Okay, well, that's enough of that. I got glow-in-the-dark paints. Go get the glow-in-the-dark paints coming in today. Glow-in-the-dark paints. We got to paint inside the case. Man, I went through that whole tutorial on how to get access. Tell me someone get some air in a can and blow out through that section. There is no way in the world I'm taking apart that much stuff to get access to a fan. Are you freaking kidding me? I mean, used to PS5 these faster access, but my goodness, you literally got to take apart something, It's like changing the brakes on a Jaguar. You got a vintage Jag. You literally have to rip that whole thing down just to get your hands to those brakes. More likely, the money does not come in the fact. What comes in the fact of the maintenance and what they got to go through to get the parts. I got to literally tear that thing down to get to certain areas. Oh, heck no. See, that's the reason why you see somebody on one time here. A console is harder to mod out than a PC. It is. There are so many freaking screws and parts, attachments, ribbons, cables, all kinds of stuff in there. You just, gee, where's the weeds? Like, you couldn't just make this simple. The Xbox 360 was the most, even the Xbox, the original Xbox, which is shocking because the original Xbox was kind of made like the Xbox 360. They were similar just to like the way they were put together. But they made it like a PC. Of course, being Microsoft, he made it just like a PC. Just like a PC. Easy to take apart. Easy to put back together. I seen how the Xboxes are. They're easy to take apart, those things. But these things right here, good gracious. This is my first, to be honestly, this is my first PlayStation I ever took apart. I never taken apart a PlayStation. I took apart Xboxes, yeah, but I never took apart a PlayStation. I did a Nintendo. I am never doing that stuff again. The Nintendo NES, so they're not hard to remove the chassis and parts. But that new one, that Switch, what the freak? Way too many screws. Way too many screws. Like 40,000 screws on a small little unit. But I think they do that to deter people from going in and messing with them. But yeah, my goodness. But they do compress them. They put a lot of parts in them. But the Xbox 360 was the most easiest tear down. Even the Xbox was an easy tear down. Very easy tear down. SATA drives, hard drive, optical drive. It was like taking apart a Dell. It was that easy. You're like, doop, doop, doop. I'm done. That's it. It's that easy. Very easy. Xbox 360, just all you had to do is go and get them star screws, pour out a couple of them, take that little butter knife, that little like butter like a jimmy for basically getting into a car, that little jimmy, and you basically slide underneath it and just pop right off, and you're done. PlayStation, I feel like I'm gonna snap that sucker in half just to get the case off of it. Once you take it off, you're good. Other than that, I'm modifying mine. All right, Mr. Williams, we're done here. I'm finished with my time here. I got things to do. We should be in contact with you shortly. I still have more emails to send over to your building. And once we contact these agencies, now I know exactly what charges you will be filing for under what you've just done. I'll make sure they'll have every document they need for the lawyer to begin the process of basically removing you out of the building. We've been told directly, got a direct contact line through them to reach directly to them. Not that number that you get, or what they call the email that you get that piles up. No. Directly to them. We can handle this. Because the last thing I want to do is file a lawsuit. They don't want it. I'm pretty sure they don't want it at all, period. And since they've been very nice and they've been working with us, it's not even necessary. We're going to get this taken care of. We'll get you out of that unit, and hopefully we get somebody in there that's deserving. And this could be a blessing for somebody else. You don't understand that. Somebody right now could be praying to get into that place where he's at right now. And their blessing's about to come true because he's on his way out. You had that opportunity. It was given to you. You didn't do nothing with it. I told you what I would have done. At the end of the day, I told you what I would have done. I'd basically would have flipped that spot. No time at all. I'd have me a nice little YouTube channel. Had a little job on the side making a little money here and there. Legit. Not that dumb nonsense you do. Yeah, I'd have flipped that real nicely, man. You're right there in Baltimore. And at that, you're on the west side. So again, I got friends in Baltimore, by the way, Mr. Williams. You probably passed them. They know who you are, by the way. They definitely know who you are. They'll go to your YouTube channel. They know who you are. But as I said before, that you could have done something productive with that. Very productive with that. You could have put down the nitty-gritty of Baltimore, showing the areas like the mom and pops, all the cool places to go. Because most people that come to Baltimore, they're not going to those areas at the end of the day. They're going to stay on the outskirts. That's where they're going to be at. But you're still going to have some people that are going to want to go in those areas. You can help them navigate through different areas like that. A lot of places up in North Philadelphia, mom and pops, Dominican restaurants, Mexican restaurants, like that good 100% true food. You can't get that stuff out there. You got to go in the neighborhood to get that. But you got to know where to navigate and how to get through certain areas in the neighborhood. You could have gave a lot of people good insight. This is this side right here, advertised here. We got this side over here. This is the city right here. You could have did all that on that e-bike. But you do it your blessings. You just messed them up. It's like watching somebody walk out with an all-white suit, climb over the side of a pig pen and just roll around in it. That's literally what you just did with your blessings. You destroyed them. doing that dumb nonsense. And oh, Mr. Fernando, this is going to come back to bite you in the face, because you know why? We're going to use his prosecution, what he's about to go to against you in court, showing that your rumors came to life, that you went out and you made false accusations about my company, incorporating this guy, which is a part of your group, and he went out and followed on your actions. Now, yeah, a blame game is definitely going to trigger off, because he's going to blame him and say he was responsible, and they're going to blame each other back and forth. But when it comes down to, gentlemen, you're adults. You know the difference between right and wrong. That's what it comes down to. But Mr. Fernando, I will be using what's about to happen to him to testify to the judge of what things that you've done. Of course, it'll be an immigration judge on that one, because that's where he's going. Go ahead and screen braces on that. Knock yourself out. I wish you would say deported. You ain't getting deported. Don't even say that. Don't even think about that. You're not. People, you don't know that. He's not getting deported. He's going to stay here in the United States and serve prison time. That's what's going to happen. You ain't getting out that easy, buddy boy. Okay. Well, that being said, that's pretty much it. And you know, it's interesting too, real quick. The people asked me when I first made contact with them, how do we know Mr. Williams? I said, we don't know Mr. Williams. We met Williams by a YouTuber by the name of Jamie Fernando Gonzalez. Yes, your name is actually mentioned in the report. It's in the police report that you guys knew each other, and that you basically, between you, McAfee, and Danny Rogers, made a conspiracy to basically attack my company and try to take it down. And Danny Rogers, just so you know, if you sit there and say, I don't know these guys, we have you in about 9 recordings of Crowcast of you guys knowing each other so well, they even know about your wife's medical condition or what medical surgery she had. Yes, you got to know somebody really well to give out that kind of information. You know each other's kids and all that stuff, so you guys know each other quite well. Get ready for something called a conspiracy charge. They're pretty hefty. They can carry some very serious jail time. If you're convicted of one of these, including jail time, you have one already. Well, that's basically about it. What did I say, gentlemen, what's going to happen in 2025? I sat there and said that we're going to have each and one of you in front of a judge. Did I not say that? My Lord knows exactly where you lay your head at. He knows everything about you. And he's going to make sure we find each and every one of you to bring you in front of a judge. And when you end up in that situation with that judge, I guarantee you 2 things. You will lose everything you have, and you will spend a very lengthy jail time, sentence in jail. And at the age you're at, anything you get is considered life. You do know that, right? Anything you get 10 years, that's considered life for you. You're up there. All right. I got these Slim Jims. Slam into a Slim Jim, which I can't stand Slim Jims. There are the small ones, too. 46 original snacks. Well, my sister can have these because I don't eat Slim Jims. But anyway, with that being said, I got to go have things to do. Thank you for your time, and God bless. Look at them. Look at my screens here. I love these things. I turn these things on. It's like having little monitors. No headaches. No more headaches. I got the other one over there because I'm doing a comparison. I can do a comparison video in a few minutes of showing the other monitor. Where the frick is that plugged into? Didn't you get the cord for this? Where's the cord for this then? That's the cord for that. I never think he cracked it back here. Let me see. There's one there. I'm missing a cord. You tell me when I'm never let you go. Wait, where's the cord? We got a cord missing. I need a cord for that one. Put the monitor in. I want to let the monitor cord. I gotta start picking that thing up. I need that. That's my main mini HDMI cord, and I lose it every single time. I have no idea where I put it. Mother George. George. I can't find the cable. George, where's the cable? Throw it somewhere. See, this is the reason why. I'm gonna start putting stuff up. I'm going to do a side-by-side demonstration showing that technology next to the monitors we have, well, not the monitors anymore, the projectors we have here. Wonder. I won't let you go. That's curious. Should have made a portrait on that side, but that's just for the time being. I do all this because I have to get an idea of exactly how we're building this, how we're designing it, how we're putting together, how far the projectors have to be, how besides the screens have to be. All that's being done. No, they got stripped down and it gets rebuilt back again, and we figure out a different way. Put that again, build it right back up again. That's why you're seeing all these different screens being torn down to be rebuilt again, torn down to be rebuilt again, because it gives us the idea of exactly how we're setting this up, what type of projector, how far the projector has to be back, the size of the screen. Size of the screen means basically inflicting shipping, how much money it would cost to ship this, how much money it costs to ship that. If it's cheap enough and we get it shipped for a cheap price, we can do express shipping. So all that stuff comes into play. So yeah, you'll be building stuff again, taking it out apart. It's like Bob the Builder, freaking Legos. You'll be putting stuff together. Bob the Builder? No, that would be what's that guy's name? I knew somebody with a name like that too. Oh, I should have popped in my head later. But anyway, so yeah, but that's what you do when you're testing. You're constantly taking stuff apart, putting it back together. Taking something apart, put it back together. Take it apart, put it back together. Found it. Take it apart, put it back together, because you have to get an idea of exactly what you're building and what you're putting together. So you'll do that over and over and over again through the process of the entire time of basically developing that technology. You will go through that process. Let me see. Oh, pretty colors. Watch it be scenery. Dead, boring. Here we go. Beautiful thumbnail, and the colors would be boring colors. Most driest colors you can possibly think of. This is so dry. Oh, they got this. I like this right here. I like these videos right here. Oh, I'm going to put one on. It's the retro. The retro. I like these, but they got so many commercials in them, man. The commercials just run back to back to back to back to back. Gee whiz, I enjoy the freaking content. Let me see. Fish tank. Should be more specific on that one. Fish tank screensaver. Yeah, we fixed that firmware problem. That issue with the software and firmware was having some confliction issues in there. Got that microphone, I had to fix that nonsense. Just getting on my freaking nubs. Let me see. We haven't done this one in a while. Let me see. Fish tank, screensaver. Actually, I want this one here. Man, really? There's a whole lot of choking to death right there. All right. You got 300 lumens and 50 lumens. Which one is it? Which one is it? Got to put the cap up there and switch. I got to do a batch number in a few minutes too. This is what gets me at the end of the day. Again, Williams, get a job. Literally get a job. Do something with your life at the end of the day. Before your life is about to basically go down the tanker in about a few. But still, do something productive. You see the work I got to do when I get up in the morning? Telling me get a job. I work more than you do. I work more hours than you do. We're going to leave financial out of this, because it'll be embarrassing at the end of the day. But still, at the end of the day, you need to get a job or a hobby or something, because you definitely know what to do with yourself at the end of the day. You see the work I got to do? All you guys do is sit on your couch and cry and whine all day long. You're sad at the end of the day. You're super, super sad, crying and whining on your accounts. Be a man, get a freaking job, go back to school, get some kind of education, something. So at least when you write something to me, we can make it out. So the thing that was written by a 5-year-old. You see what I do in my day? I get up, I have testing 2 screens. I had to build this yesterday for this display to do side-by-side demonstrations against the screen I have over here for a form site. I order my projectors, get everything set up, got my projector over here, built that case over there to set that projector up, built this entire screen right here, panel by panel by panel, to set up to do demonstrations in here. Got the floor done, got it coated for the new technology, for the floor technology. I'm updating my website. I'm basically going back and forth, running all back and forth to different agencies and places to go to get information, back and forth to City Hall, up in freaking licensing, up in freaking zoning to figure out exactly what size screens we can have outside. Because I don't want anything gigantic. Say, hey, the screen's too big. It's a distraction. I got to figure exactly. I got all this stuff I go through my day. I don't mind this because this is what I do in business. This basically comes with the territory. But when I sit back and think about how much I get done in a day, compared to these dummies sitting around complaining and crying on their YouTube channel, I swear, if you grew up my military father, he would have smacked you dead in your mouth at the end of the day and said, boy, if you don't get out of my face with this dumb nonsense. To come to him and just waste his time on stupidity would get your head knocked off at the end of the day. He's a very busy person. He ain't no time for nonsense. You come to me, you get it done. Is the job done? All right then. And you don't report to me until that job is completed. And it better be done right. I don't know who raised y'all at the end of the day, but I can tell you today the way I came up, my dad didn't tolerate nonsense at the end of the day. If you came to him, you came with something that was done, it was finished, and it was done correctly, or you would have paid the price for it. That's the difference between you. You see how I conduct myself? You see everything I do, how I conduct myself and everything that I do? You see everything that I do, how I conduct myself? See my progress all around me. See my progress? Everything I finish all around me. Look at my YouTube channel compared to you. Look at my websites compared to you. Look at the products I do, the demonstrations. Everything I do it at its top level. That's the difference between me and you guys. You guys don't do your job correctly. You half every single thing, and then you get on channel and you cry like a bunch of Karens. You don't like your problem, you fix it. That's what you do. Instead of crying and whining, that's why I don't hang around people like that. I can't stand people like that. If you don't like how your life is going, fix it. That's what you do. And unfortunately, you guys can't fix it because what's going to happen to you, there's no way to fix it. You did too much damage for that one. Where is the mouse for this one? Oh, we're on this side. But that's what you do. You fix it. Never been one. That whole GoFundMe. Now, GoFundMe account is nice if you got somebody been through something dramatic, house burns down, somebody dies, you know what I mean, they need help, whatever. I can see about that. But you got people on there asking for the dumbest stuff. You got professional beggars. I've seen these people on TikTok, professional beggars. They come out there and they come on, people, we're going to need that money, my phone bill's going to be due, and my rent's going to be due, and so and so and so. And they'd be professional beggars. You don't have any self-respect for yourself? I'd rather starve before I ask somebody for something. I'll do it myself. Hey, I don't understand how people are like that. They use those GoFundMe accounts to fund their lifestyle. And how do you live like that? It's a line of self-respect you got to have for yourself. And gee whiz. And some people throw you that money at the end of the day because they don't throw it because you need it. They throw it because they own you. They literally do. They own you. They do. Gee whiz Louise, these guys have no respect for themselves. You grown men. You take the very little time you have on this earth. Time flees by us so fast. And you take the precious time that you're blessed to have on this earth to do productive things, to do that dumb stuff. You sent a bunch of letters here that didn't faze me one bit. How would that basically destroy anything I'm doing right now? How would that even work? But look what it did to you. So you wasted your time to make those letters, buy the envelopes. Let's look at the process in this. Take them down to the post office, get them stamped, and send them over here. You could be doing something else with that time. And that time right there it's going to cost you 20 years. They did nothing with your time. Fernando came over here, undocumented. You can sit there and scream and complain about that. You don't have documents. We know that from the door. We already had somebody going to search and all. You don't have documents. But anyway, time here, you could do something with it. I got buddies of my friends of mine that are Mexican, Fernando. Man, they said they ever see you, they're going to jack you up. And the reason why they're going to jack you up is you making them look bad. You didn't do nothing with your time when you got done here, did you? Nothing. Nothing productive, anything at all besides get that job at that printing company. You set that printing company, probably set that printing company. Now, once they go through there, when they find out They're going to go through everybody who had contact with you. That's what they usually do. And they're going to go through that company. They're going to hit the daylights out of them. They're going to hit the taillights out of the landlord, because he's undocumented. And he's been there for years. And I'm like, how in the world did you not know he wasn't documented? Did you not report this? Yeah, they're going to be in some trouble. It's going to have a backlash. It's going to be pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I don't want to mention how bad this thing is going to be, but it's going to be pretty bad. It's going to affect a lot of people. It's going to affect a lot of people. It's going to be like the equivalent of dropping a balloon full of oil off the side of a building. When it hits, it's not just going to hit one person. It's going to have a splatter effect. Heck, you could be across the street and get a little dot on you, like, oh shoot, like I got hit from that way over here. It's going to have that kind of splatter effect. The higher the building, the bigger the splatter. And unfortunately for him, it's a pretty high building. But anyway, yeah. You guys, man, nothing with your time. I get more done in my day than you guys do basically from the time you wake up. I get more done in my day. You ever heard the term seize the morning? You don't seize jack. I'm going to tell you about the transition process. The transition process of waking up every single day. When you wake up, you see your ceiling, right? Ceilings change. You know that. They always change. Ceilings always change. 1 minute, you could be staring at the same ceiling. Next minute, that ceiling changes to something else. Something good or something bad. Something good means you probably are at a better place, better location, nicer place. Ceiling changes. Every time you look up. Do you know how many times you stare at the ceiling in your lifespan? When you get up, the first thing you look up is you see your ceiling. So you could be in a bad neighborhood. Every time you wake up, you see that ceiling. You move out of the neighborhood, you're in a nice neighborhood. You wake up, different ceiling. The ceiling changes depending on the environment you're at. These guys are going to wake up every day and they're going to see that concrete ceiling. The only difference is, well, I can't say that. I don't know if Lord got plans for it, though. If he does have plans, I can't say that. It's not my business at the end of the day. But I know one day, when I was sitting there staring up at that ceiling, with that concrete ceiling, I wake up. And I used to wake up and I didn't want to open my eyes up because I didn't want to think I was still there. But I wake up and I see it again, I see it again, and 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 again, and again, and again, and again. And after a while, you start thinking that this is where I'm going to be at. I'm just going to keep seeing that ceiling. So one day, you're home. And in the back of your mind, you're thinking that I can't be home. This has got to be a dream. Because you have those dreams in there. You have dreams that when you're locked up, you're home. And when you're home, you have dreams that you're locked. When you're home, it's reversed. You're home, you think you're still in jail. And when you're in jail, you think you're home. So you slowly open your eyes thinking that this is all a dream. And the worst part about it, when you do go home, that's when it plays on your head the most, because you literally believe that you're dreaming. You're actually inside of a dream. The worst ones are the ones who have a dream within a dream, where you actually think you're awake when you're technically not awake, you're still dreaming. Those are the worst ones. Because then that pops up in your head, and you start thinking like, oh shoot, like am I dead? Did I die? Did what happened? Am I in this like stage? And I literally walked in my mom's room one time, and I called out her name. She had to tell me I was free. I was home. I didn't believe it. That's how much, gentlemen, that mental stress will mess with your head. And you're about to go into that. You're about to experience what I went through. The only problem you have is at the end of the day that your time is extensive and your life on this earth is short because of your age. So that's going to be an interesting. And I see people getting sentenced. They be like 30, 40 years old. They get sentenced for 20 year prison. Like, geez, I'm going to give that person life. That's a life sentence right there. Now, you 16, you get 10 years. At least you're coming out when you're 26. You might not even do the whole thing. You might just get out on good behavior. They let you out on good behavior, you're good. You might do 8 of that. You might do 5 of that. You got to do a certain amount of time to be eligible parole. But even if you're eligible parole, doesn't mean you're going to get parole, because you still got to go before a parole board. And they got to basically see if you basically or should be eligible to be let out. So you can basically get that denied. They definitely always bring up the victims. The victims can sit there and say, I don't want them out. And you're not going out. You're going to stay in. So you can be eligible for parole, doesn't mean you're getting out. But that ceiling, man, that waking up, man, I had to open my eyes up real slow and look up and realize I was home. And I started touching things and stuff like this. I gotta be in a dream. This can't be real. I can't be out already. I gotta be still in there. Yeah, because you've been there for too long. And you realize you are home. Boy, but it takes a while to process. That's a process to try to get used to. Walking in the rain, you'll do that a lot. You'll walk in the rain a lot. People be running past you, trying to get out of the rain. You're walking in it because you're enjoying it. Because you don't get that option when you're locked up. When it rains, you go back in. You don't go out, you don't leave in the yard when it rains. They bring you in. If it's raining out there, you ain't going in. Going out. Can't stick your hand through the bar and feel it. Can't. So you don't get the joy to feel rain. So yeah, you see some people take their time and walk in the rain, don't care. That's because they miss it. You need to go out to the park and sit down and watch people and watch the squirrels and everything. Look at the sky move past you. Touch the grass, smell the flowers. That's stuff you take for granted. If you did, gentlemen, respect the lives that you had, you wouldn't have done the dumb stuff you had now to get it taken away. You took it for granted. And now you're about to find out exactly how important that freedom you had was. Now, I'm going to get out of it because I said that multiple times, and it is already 9 o'clock already. Time just travels so fast. We haven't done any video demonstrations today. I don't even know what I'm going to do. Okay. I got orders to go out the door. I got to get the post office right now. See how much money it's going to cost me to ship to England today. We're going to England. I just got finished talking about the end of the day. I'm going to be traveling to England. Yep. I just wish I could grow a handlebar mustache. It'd be nice. My suit. A double breast suit. I'm getting that plaid too. In a nice wide plaid double breast suit. The pocket watch. Oh, the pocket watch. Yes. Like you're from here? I wish. I wish. Man, do I have the whatchamacallit right now? I need a box for this. I'm going to paint this down for demonstration. That's the silver right there. I mean, silver. I get the tape to it too. Tape. Alright, so we're going to take this box right here. And we got to come in. I got to do a batch number verification. Ta-da! For the customer. Willie, get over there, man. Stop biting me. Stop biting me. I can do it. Alright, let me see. Need glue gun. I'm going to put this thing together right here for this part right here. We didn't make one go long for a minute, but I need to get this done. Should have been doing this while I was having the conversation in the video, which would have been much more productive. See, I try to get everything and do everything and get it done. So that way, you know, get as much as I can done. But like I said, I never know what tomorrow's going to bring. I don't know. I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. So I try to get as much as I can done. Thank goodness I cut that machine up, right? Got that done. That's all the parts over there. And next thing you know, we got the paint coming in, so we got to do the paint job today. So that's going to be done. And I still got to finish the case, and that's got to be done. So I got so much to do. It's not even funny. And I got to deal with these kids. These freaking kids that know how to act right. From now on, you know, I'm preferring them as the kids, because that's what I got to deal with. I got to deal with the kids. Kids need discipline. They're about to get some discipline pretty soon. Discipline they will never forget. But I got to deal with kids. Gee whiz, you would think in this era people would know how to freaking grow the freak up. I want to be free. I know this little package is not going to cost me like $80. It shouldn't cost me $80. This right here, people, is our new dark silver technology right there. That works with Wemaxes, valve up projectors, all that good stuff. That's what that technology works with. So the guy told me he had these projectors. That's a dark silver. Now that's 50 ounces right there. Two of them is 24. That goes around $362 for that. And we got 5 of those to do today. He was talking some stuff at the end of my end of the month. End of the month what? Really? No. Nope. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with anybody who collects at the end of the day. But no. You seen the houses I lived in? They're virtually freaking impossible. Yeah, okay. Do you have any idea how much it costs to rent a house that's 2,400 or 1,600 square feet? Yeah, how much money one of the things costs to rent? Yeah, I realized how expensive those things were. My rent was $1,800 a month. I don't think that's going to happen, Jack. Usually, most people just do both. They both would just get that and work a little bit because, you know, people can work and do that. But you can't earn a certain amount of money because you're not eligible. You make too much. And you're going to talk about end of the month like we're both in the same boat. No, we're not in the same boat, buddy. I ain't trying to be rude against anybody who gets at the end of the day. God bless if you get it and hope you continue to get it. But other than that, nobody, we're not in the same boat. Yeah, I've seen the places and things I buy at the end of the day. We're not in the same boat. My freaking electric bill alone would be more than that, easily. Yeah, virtually impossible. You know how much I rent out right now for just everyday stuff? And stuff I got to pay for licenses, domain names and stuff. I pay a lot of money out, especially shipping costs. Yeah, no, I don't think so, buddy. We're not in the same boat. Oh, by the way, and we also know why you wear that mask all the time, too. Got over some of your pictures. I told you guys, we got his fingerprints. Do you have any idea the information you could dig up on somebody on prints? Yeah, it's quite astounding. You have no idea how interesting that is. It really is. And mind you, the person who did it, as I told you before, he's an investigator. That's what he does. He gives people prints. Yeah, he figure out exactly. Yeah, you get your fingerprints in, you're screwed. This guy's got all kinds of access to all different types of databases you can get access to. That's why he was able to track down deadbeat dads. People are not paying their child support. He can find you. Yeah, this one incident, this guy was not paying child support for nothing. He was making good money, too. He was not paying for his kids. She invited him over and gave him something to drink. And he walked off and left, but your fingerprints are on the glass. That's all they needed. Dig through all your stuff now. Got any hidden banking accounts like that? Well, dig through all that. Find everything. So, no. Anybody gets that at the end of the day, they deserve to have it at the end of the day. But if you're saying that we're in the same boat, you know, I know we're not in the same boat at all, period, buddy. No, we're not in the same boat. My expenses alone would eat that with no problem. Before I started doing that $200, my projectors were like $400 or $500. Venues were like $500. So let's see, roughly about, they get, he's a single person, so roughly it would be around somewhere between $960. No, that'd be virtually impossible. Would I turn down free money? No, it's free money. Would I freaking turn down free money? But unfortunately, no. I make too much. My freaking business expenses alone would kill off $900 easily. Very easily. Man, for especially for everything costing so much more money now, freaking ink costs like $40-50 for ink. Just for black paint. I gotta get rid of this printer. The printer eats through so much ink, it's not even funny. But yeah, $50. I gotta buy paint ink again. That's $50 right there. Containers. I spent $60 to $80 for containers. I just bought a bulk of containers around there. Something got splattered with paint, something like that. And it costs a lot of money. Everything costs money now. Everything. And I was paying for my electric bill. One of my places, my electric bill was $13, $14. I run a lot of stuff. That's why I run a lot of stuff. The normal person's not running 9 and 10 projectors and multiple speakers. And all that. I run all that stuff. I treat my places that I'm at like my business. So my electric bill can easily be $1,300. The first thing I do when I move into a home, I run the heat on maximum setting for 1 month to see how worse it's going to get. Got a couple grand sitting in the banking account. Just the worst. What's the worst this house going to cost me if I were to heat it at maximum settings? Now, the reason why I do that is because, say we get a cold winter, I'm not one to be in a house to cut down the heat because of the money. No, I'll keep the heat up. I'll blaze it all freaking, because I know what my bill is going to be, but that's how I test it. Now, if it's more than what it should be, like if it's way up there, then I got to find other ways of basically keeping the house warm without basically burning that furnace. But if we can afford it, then at least I know at the end of the day, if it gets really cold, we're good. But usually the most thing that cost me more than heat would cost me electricity. But in the house in Haventown, it was heat because the house was big and heat rises. Which means it was going right up to the attic. I had a big attic up there. So yeah, that house was actually a little more expensive than the rest of them. Now, for naysayers and they're saying, well, you couldn't afford what? I paid $6,400 to get into that place. $6,400 to get into that place up front. That's $6,400 to get in, and then turn around and then furnish half that place when I was in there. My first spot, I went in and dropped what? They had at the house, the first spot I got was around like $800. $800, it was a small house. I dropped 4 months on them to get in because of the credit. My credit at the time wasn't that good. If your credit's not good, you pay them an extra month. I guarantee they won't even think about credit. Who cares about credit when you got actual cold cash in your hand? That money talks at the end of the day. I tell people at the end of the day, so they're going to come back and tell you, well, your credit's not so-and-so, so okay, then I pay an extra month. How about that? And they were like, well, you know what? That's an option. I'll talk to the owner. Of course the owner's going to say yes. Why is he not going to say yes? So you rather have credit than money? And money talks. That's how we were able to get all them places we moved into. My credit wasn't all that good. Her credit wasn't all that good. But I had money. So I just go in and just say, hey, look, I'll pay an extra month. I'll give you 2 extra months on top. I'll give you 6 up front. Right now. Ain't going to deny that. Or where you want to sign it, when can you move in? Every single time. When you want to move in. So they had that place up in Haventown. I liked it. I looked around. I did the whole Google map over top. I said, oh, this was real nice at the end of the day. And they wanted $1,800 for it. But $1,600 when we first moved in because the rent went up. So it was $1,600 when we first went in. And the guy was like, well, we got a few people looking at it right now. So that's what they always tell you. Got a few people looking at it right now. I said, okay, that's what we're going to do. I'm coming in. I'm bringing in I'm going to bring in, what's it, $6,400? I think I paid 4 months. I'm coming in. I'm going to bring in, I'll give you an extra month. If you want, we got another one. Because I had $20,000 sitting in my banking account. So I could afford to drop 10 grand on that spot. So I went in and basically wrote him the check. Bum. Next thing you know, I was sitting down with the owner, signing the lease and everything. Here we go, And then I paid him another on top of that. Just in case, because I always pay a little extra more. You know why? Because if things slow down, you already 2 months ahead on your rent. So when my money's good, if I'm making the money, it's coming in, it's flowing nicely. You get time in business where things will slow down. Well, it's good to put your money in the bank, but things will slow down. But at least at the end of the day, I'm 2 months up on my rent. Always do that. Any place I go, I always drop 2 extra months in, or I pay a little more. At one place, I remember I was actually paying an extra. I think it's a house on 69th Street. Yeah. I was paying twice the amount of rent for 1 month. So I was always ahead of my rent. And that gives you an excellent track record for your next house. Like, yeah, this guy came and he paid twice for what the rent was. Always on time, always on time, always on time. Never had a problem, always on time. Easy to get houses. Once you get that first one, the rest of them are easy to get. Because it carries with you. Your credit carries with you. Now, the apartment, which they try to say you owe money, now I owe jack at all. Because I got the court documents that they didn't show up. That same eviction process, that's what Mr. Williams is about to go through. It's kind of like you guys are living my life. It's weird. Like they're shadowing my freaking life. And jerkers tried to evict me twice. They tried to evict me twice. Came in and dropped $3,600 on that place. And they make it so that either they'll try to get you, take your money and hit you with a whole bunch of whatever bull crap. They'll they'll stack up your bill and all that stuff, try to make you pay a lot of money, and then try to wreck your credit on the way out. So they were dirty in there. So I came in there. I fell behind my rent only about $300-400. That was it. $300. Easy, I can make that money up. I look at my freaking bill. My bill got all these freaking charges. Like I went from maybe like almost $3,000. Like how the frick I got $3,000 worth of back rent? That's impossible. I pay my rent on time. What's going on here? I'm on these short rent. Well, we got penalties and fees and late fees and whatever. Them late fees like $200-300. You know a late fee is not supposed to be no $200-300, but that's what they were doing in there. Because you know why? There are a lot of immigrants that were in there. They had people in there. Basically, chances are weren't documented, and they feel they could do whatever they want to do. They treat everybody like dirt in there. That's what they do. It's a shame because you feel because somebody ain't got paperwork, you gonna do them dirty. If anything, you should be helping them out at the end of the day. Help them out. But no, not them at the end of the day. So they gave me, I got that, a notice to go into court. It wasn't an eviction notice, a notice to go to court. That's all it was. I said, fine, I'll be there. But they didn't realize I took pictures on their entire building. I got pictures for days. I got enough stuff on their building at the end of the day that literally they can shut that whole unit down through license inspection. I took pictures of everything from the top floor, the bottom floor, the laundry room, everything. Yeah, and that's why I spent a lot of time over in license inspection, so I know a lot of stuff at the end of the day about building codes. But anyway, long story short after that, me and my sister pop up. We go to the courthouse. They don't show up. They never showed up at all. And the judge was ticked. I came back there and the judge was like, Mr. Bird, I said, yes, I am. He said, okay, they didn't show up. Go home. This never happened. Yeah, when it happens, your case gets thrown out because you didn't show up. You didn't show up at all, which means it wins in my favor, which means anything they try to basically stack on my credit report or whatever, it's not there because they didn't show up. So they don't show up. I go back. I continue to make my payments and give them the money. And then they turn around and hit me with another notice on my door. I said, we need you to go to court. All right, we're going to play this game. This is what we're going to do. We show up again. Guess what? They didn't show again. Second time they showed. Same judge. She was like, Mr. Bird, I'm done with this. I don't care. You don't pay rent anymore? We don't care. I don't want to see him in here anymore. That's what happens when you take a judge off. So that's it. I literally had a get out of jail free card. I had to pay them jack at all, period. They can't take me to court. What are you going to do? You can't take me to court. Because you ticked off the judge. The same person that you need to get me out of a building. That you go to a different judge, but keep in mind, you go to a different judge, that paperwork follows everywhere it goes. So I went down. I'm not going to play that game at the end of the day. I'm leaving. So I wrote them a nice long letter. I sent them a whole bunch of pictures on their building, explaining to them that I found all these violations and I know who to contact and who to call. Because at the end of the day, you got to know your rights. If you don't know who to contact and who to call, what paperwork to file out, they think they can do whatever you want. But if you know people and you know where to file that paperwork at and how to do that thoroughly, I guarantee you they'll basically get you out of the building. They don't want you in there no more. So they was like, fine, leave. That's what they told me. So I left. Got packed all my stuff up and left, sent them the letter, the remaining what I owe, and I said, whatever you put on my credit report, I got 2 documents from the court. I went back and I got my documents showing that at the end of the day that they didn't show up and the judge went in my favor. If it shows up on my credit report, I'm filing a lawsuit against you. And I sent them over the documents. I got it by a judge that you didn't show up twice. So, good luck on all that. But you knuckleheads at the end of the day don't know how to do business right. That's the reason why you don't know how to do what I've done. I know how to protect myself. You got to know how to protect yourself. Most people wouldn't have went there and got that paperwork. Yeah, I went there and got that paperwork. I got documents showing at the end of the day. You guys never showed up for court. I was there and you guys did not show up. So what does that say about you? You're going to sit there and say, oh, but he did so and so, but you didn't show up. Why weren't you there? I was there. I was there twice in a row. I showed up. So that throws that out of court. So if I see this on my credit report, I'm suing you. And guess what? Never on my credit report. All these pictures I sent over to you, this is your property right there. I can literally get you shut down. Yes, I can. Get them fined and shut down. I still got them died. Matter of fact, they're posted on my Facebook page for everybody to see them. You're like, good gracious. Like, really? Yeah, they had freaking circle outlets. Circle outlets that are outside the baseboard. They've been around since the 1920s. Some of these old places will try to grandfather them in, if you ever heard that term before, but they're trying to grandfather those lights in and try to say, well, it's a part of the building's historical system. Technically, we really don't have to change them. Technically, they do. because the amps on them things, you will burn your freaking house to the ground. You imagine all the air conditioners running off those old-timey outlets. You're literally going to overload circuits and cause that place to burn to the ground. These jokers were so lazy that the lamp fixtures had holes in the ceiling. You can clearly see that they took one of those closet lamps, the lights that you put in your closet to light it up, and stuck it up in there and try to make it look like there's an actual light in there when there isn't. Man, I found freaking two-prong outlets near the refrigerator. You're never supposed to have two prongs. It's supposed to be three. Two prongs are not even grounded. They've been around since the 1970s. Not supposed to have those in there. You're never supposed to have two prongs anywhere. You're supposed to have breakers. Your breakers are supposed to be in, especially in the kitchen. You're definitely supposed to have breakers in there. Supposed to have them in the bathroom. Supposed to have them in the kitchen. As a matter of fact, all the outlets are supposed to be breakers, but they weren't. So if you got two prongs in there, keep in mind they've been around since the 1970s. They're old. That bottom one they have, the one that looks like somebody with a surprised face, that's a grounder at the bottom, that little circle, that's for grounding. Your stuff is not even grounded. That's why you stick your surge protectors in there. You never have surge protectors on outlets that only have two prongs. And what they did for the refrigerator, they took a 3-prong adapter for a 2-prong and stuck it in the refrigerator. Really? That's the reason why basically anything on that line, when that refrigerator triggers off, it's going to trip it because it's on the same line. Gee, it's supposed to be a different outlet for that one. It goes on and on and on. On and on and on. Some of the stuff I found in that place. Dirty water, water in the laundry room, pushing out black water. You do not want black water. Stains of leakage from pipes from one end to the next. Some of the areas had a bit of a moldy, musty smell to it, which again, we know what that is. That's mold. The storage unit in the back looked like an episode from Saw, because they basically said, yeah, luxury storage unit. Not back there, it wasn't. It was actually quite disgusting back there. I wouldn't put anything back there. Safe and secure. Yeah, some rickety wooden gate with some lock on it. You don't even need to worry about the lock. You just kick through the rickety gate. No. Electrical systems, horrible. I was doing painting the ceiling one time, and the fixture came down. It wasn't even clipped on correctly. When the fixture came down, the grounding wires weren't connected. Yeah, and some of them didn't even have the caps on them. You're supposed to have the caps. Them suckers basically touch each other or arc. At the end of the day, you got a problem on your hands. This stuff is going to be, place is going to burn to the ground. Ceiling infrastructure. Ceiling was cracked multiple times. You can literally stand up and see where the ceiling is uneven, because that shows you the amount of plaster that they kept hitting the ceiling over and over again. You do know if you have a cracked surface and you keep caking plaster on top of it, what happens? It makes the infrastructure weak, which means the ceiling can cave on you. It's a whole lot of stuff. When I explained to you the same thing I explained to them, they knew I knew what I was talking about. So what conversation we're going to have tomorrow? Well, thank you, Mr. Bird. Thank you for your presence, for staying with us, and I wish you a great life. I'm out. Bye. That's how I was able to get out of a lease. Leverage. And that wasn't the end of it. I had so much stuff on them, it wasn't even funny, the stuff that I found in that place. Could have easily had outside, cracked cement, exposed boxes with electrical components sticking out. Imagine if a kid walks by with a metal pole and sticks it in there. Yeah, all kinds of problems at the end of the day. Handrails that were not, they had on the 3rd floor at the very top, there were no handrails. An area was super dark up there, not very little lighting they had. They had a night light plugged into a wall. Yeah, good luck on that one without the handrails. Your staircases, your staircase have to be a certain incline. It can't be like super steep, and it can't be too short, which means there's nothing really to step on. It's too steep, number one. And then when each one of the planks are actually ultra short, yeah, that's a hazard at the end of the day. There's a whole lot of stuff I was there to pick up in their place. I took pictures of everything. I walked out of there with like around 2,000 pictures on the unit. Everything. So they were done. That was it. Well, Mr. Bird, I hope you have a wonderful life, and so and so and so. Yeah, you too. Bye. If I want to be nasty about me, Lord, I'll sue him. But nope, that's not necessary. Get me out of my lease. I'm out. I'm going. You touch my credit at the end of the day, I'm going to definitely come back and get you. So, people, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. You got to know your rights. Got to know your rights. Especially if you know you're in the right, you got to know your rights. And And now I go to license inspection because I got a thing for now paperwork. I got a thing for basically building codes and all that stuff now. Are you supposed to have that light fixture there? That's not supposed to be there. I wouldn't be. I call them the dream killers. I literally go up there and like, you guys are a bunch of dream killers. You kill people's dreams. That's a messed up name. But you do. You do kill people's dreams. You're dream killers. That's what you are. You're a bunch of dream killers. I hate that name. That's funny as on the way. You are dream killers. That's why I think, though, I told you that I believe that the housing is a scam. It's a big scam. I'm going to talk my talk. The housing's a scam. It is. It's a big scam. You don't own the property, number one. It is not yours. You put all this money into this house. You decorate if you're able to do it. That's another problem you have because you can't do that either. You really can't decorate your property. You can't. Now, you can get away with painting your walls and all that stuff like that. That's nothing. You ever read through building codes? I have. It's an interesting document to read through. You read through building codes like, geez, no, you're not doing it. You can't change your pipes underneath your sink. You can't even remove cabinets in there. A sink, a toilet, heck no. You got to get permission to do all that. Staircase, walls. You put a hole through a wall, you need permission to put a hole through your wall. If you're taking out that whole section of the wall to put another one in, yeah, you need to go through building codes for all that. Light fixtures, any of that. Even installing a ceiling lamp requires basically building code ordinance for you could do all that. You got to get permission for that. You want to put a new fence up, you're going to need permission to do that. All that's requirement for that. All of it's required from you. And all that fencing, garage doors, all that stuff. Majority, most of the stuff you want to do to your home. Why do people not contact building codes or license inspection? Because there's a good chance that they may say no. And you can't do it. It's just something you own at the end of the day. How does that feel to them? When I get people saying I'm a homeowner. No, you're in prison. That's what you are. You're in prison. You're in a system at the end of the day that will not allow you to control your house the way you want to control it. Unless you do it under the radar and nobody knows about this because you can't record it. You can't do anything. You got haters out there that sit there and dime on you in a hot second. Them punks. But anyway, as I said before, you can't basically tell anybody about it. You can't bring in a certified to do it because a certified is going to tell you, well, look, I can't touch your property until I get permission showing that you got permission to do this because I can lose my license. You got to get somebody under the table like George, Frank, or Mike that's been doing this for years. They don't have certification, but they got skill. They still can do the same thing. They just ain't documented. They under the radar. So they make good money because at the end of the day, I would hire them to come over and fix something because I don't want to go through that freaking headache to begin with. I got somebody who's certified. He knows what he's doing at the end of the day. He just ain't got the little documents like everybody else. There you go. That's what most people do. But the problem is when you're doing outside work, you always got that neighbor across the street. Chances are, knowing the people I deal with, I'm pretty sure they're the neighbors too. They probably full-blown Karens at the end of the day. They say, oh, Frank's over there building it up, putting in a fence. I'm going to call basically the city on them. You sound like those type of people. But anyway, yeah, that's the only time to worry about it. But inside your home, you have to worry about that at all, period. You want to put up a deck? You got to, I can see about, no, I can't see that either. It's your freaking property. See what I mean? You don't own it. It's not yours. You do not own it. You can sit there and say, well, I own it in a way where basically no one can walk in and take it from me. Technically they can, but no one can take it from me. But technically, you don't own it. You literally have to ask permission to fix it. And then say you get the permission. Say you put all that money and you fix it up, you make it a nice house, and the housing market ain't worth jack. That means your house ain't worth jack either. So that means everything you put in your house has lost value, which a lot of people are going through right now. So now you're pretty much probably going to get really not what the money you really invested into it. Or say maybe the housing market's good. Maybe your kids don't want the house. You pass off the earth, your kids don't want it. Most likely, their financial status is not going to be the status that you have because you've been here longer, made more money, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, they might not have that financial status. So taking on your property may be a burden. So they may better off just sell the property off. But if the market's bad and they can't sell the property off, then that's going to be a problem. Maybe you still owe on it, which means that you don't actually own the house outright. That means they'll have to take over the mortgage payments and taxes on the house. You don't own it at all. You're still, good gracious, that's crazy. Yeah, you don't own it. Same thing with landowners, but landowners have more freedom. Landowners at the end of the day can build their house any way the freak they want. Heck, if they want to make it shaped like a rocket ship, they can do that because they're on land that doesn't basically abide to those codes whatsoever. I'm out in the land of law. You can't do jack out here to me. That's why they have that attitude. Come on out here with a license inspection truck. That'd be a funny prank right there. A license inspection truck with somebody at 200 acres. What the freak you doing out here? For what? Oh, I hope your car broke down. Other than that, you getting the freak off the property. Yeah, you can't do jack out there. You can build whatever freak you want out there. And there's certain areas like Slab City that don't have any rules or anything. There's no police. There's none of that. Wouldn't need police themselves, and they have their own rules and regulations they have down there. So whatever land you take at the end of the day, it's tax-free. But they can't even tax the land out there. It's tax-free land out there. It is. Might not be in a place you want to live at, but there is tax-free land out there. There is some tax-free land out there. Out in the middle of the desert? Yeah, out in the middle of the desert. It doesn't have to be like desert. You can have tropical deserts that have plants and wildlife that live out there. But out there, yeah, people live out there in the middle of the desert. It's called desert mansions. There's a name for them. They're called desert mansions. So you can live out there and you don't have taxes because there's no government out there to tax your land at the end of the day. You are the police, by the way. But yeah. But technically, you don't own your Can you imagine? All right, you buy a game system. You imagine that you have to pay taxes on that game system every single year. That's what you have to do. And if you don't make payments on that game system, they come in and take it from you. Now, say you want to do modifications with the game system and you want to add some stuff to it, you got to go ask permission. That say, hey, look, I want to add some new fans on here. Do I have permission? And they'll make the decision whether or not you can or you can't. Even though you paid for the system, you still can't basically change anything out unless you get permission to do it first. That's owning a house. I'd explain it to my little one about that when they were asking me, like, do you really own a house? And I explained it to them, something that they would understand, which would be close to them, that no, it's not yours. And if you buy the house out front, it's yours. But the problem with that is that's a serious gray area in lawsuits. Why? If you own your house and somebody falls on your property and breaks an arm, they can take your house from you. If it's owned by the bank, they technically can't take the house because it's owned by the bank. So that kind of saves your neck at the end of the day. Unless you got an umbrella policy sitting on your property where you have an extra $5 million or $50,000 sitting in an umbrella policy, which means they can take that money. You can have this now. You got to bargain with them. Like, we can go to court over this, but you might not see that money for years. You could be tied up in litigation. But you can take the money we have here now, and we never go to court on it. That's what it is, a bargaining chip. So people are like, all right, I ain't got to wait for the money. I can have it right now. I'll take that money. You'd be surprised when people say they'll take the money now. 50 grand? Yeah, people take that right now. That's 50 grand I got now, right now. I got to share it with no lawyers, nothing. It's mine. That's what the umbrella policies are nice about. It doesn't end up on public records. It's not documented. It's just me and an attorney. And you go in there and you sign off on it and whatever they do from there. And that's it. No judges needed. They settle all that right there. Cut you that check. Like, well, I'm taking that. I'm definitely taking that. Like, well, we can take them to court and get more money. Yeah, but it could take forever. Anything can happen between that time. I could die. Yeah, anything could happen. You sick, die, anything can pop up. I can get that right now. Right now. We can leave and go to Vegas right now. I'm not going to Vegas. Man, it's funny. I'm going to leave right now. I was looking for this right here. The exact one we have here. The match with monitor. See, I'm working. I work as I talk, people. See, that's what I was doing. I was sitting there trying to get the same ones that all match at the same time. See, they're just talking about nonsense. No, when I'm in here talking about stuff at the desk because I'm building stuff in my head, I'm working on this, I'm working on that, I'm sitting there trying to figure out what a video they all link together. Yeah, they work like monitors. It's the flex system at 15%. 50 lumen projector here, 300 in the projector here, monitor there. Is that crazy or what? What a flex can do? That's crazy, ain't it? Yep. I told you sooner or later we're going to replace the monitors on your desk easily. And the projector I'm investing in, I'm trying to track down. I know most of them are over in Japan, but I'm trying to track down a company here in the United States. Is the ultra short throw LG. Those things are small. They can fit in the size of your hand. All those things are fantastic for our setups. Hey, where did you go, Johnny? Oh, you're back. Anyway, I had to make a screen to paint over that for the batch number. See right here, got to do a screen for batch number here, looking for videos over here. And you think I'm on there talking about, I'm learning, you learn some stuff. You do, if you don't already know this already about the whole housing thing. But there's some people who don't know this at the end of the day. You don't own your house. You're better off just renting. Just rent. Like, but it's not yours. You're not taking it with you. Neither are you taking the rented house with you. I'm gonna tell you something right now. I remember when I was renting, someone told me, "Why don't you just get a house?" No, we're not doing that. Why don't you just buy a house? Because it's much cheaper. Now your mortgage is gonna be cheaper. That's what it used to be. Your mortgage was cheaper than you renting a house. Not like that no more. Your freaking mortgage costs just as much as somebody else renting a house, renting an apartment now. It's almost some of the same thing. Mortgage payments should never be that high, but they are. So, yeah. I just rent a house and be done with it. That's it. That is it. I ain't got to worry about no maintenance, nothing. It's all taken care of. All that's basically about it. I'd rather rent any day than own. I would never ever buy. I've seen that happen. I watched my brother spend $500,000 for a house. And he was going to get a new deck in the back. He was mapping it out and everything. Staircase with a deck on top of a deck and a barbecue pit and all that and everything. And he was just about to basically get the money and everything lined up, and they told him no. I said, what you mean no? Can't do it. I said, I can't. The deck is too, it ain't going to fit. They said, it'll fit perfectly. He had a good amount of land. They just told him no. And the chances are it could have been a neighbor. Could have a bunch of neighbors could have got together and said, hey, look, we don't want to see that eyesore at the end of the day. Now you go in and put trees up there, and you grow these really high trees in to block out your neighbors. They'll complain about your trees too. Sit there and say, well, trees are blocking our view. We didn't have that problem before. Now they're there. Yeah, all kinds of stuff, man. All kinds of dumb nonsense from neighbors at the end of the day. Nobody want to put up with that crap. That's why people get land out in the middle of nowhere, because you ain't got no freaking neighbors out there. No one to complain about your giant rocket ship house in the middle of your land. So what is 10 feet tall? No one can say jack about it. Period. Bona light explosives, whatever I want to do on my land. It's my land. You can't come out here and do whatever you want to do. Bye. I hope the truck broke down. Is that license inspection? All the way out here? What are you doing out here? Are you lost? Oh, you came for what? From who? My neighbor's like freaking like 20 miles from me. What the frick are you talking about? From who? Get off my land. Get the freak off my land. You got 5. 5! That's my land. Yeah. Land, can't do that. It's my land at the end of the day. That would be cool. Build a lazy river on your river. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You don't own your property. I learned that at a young age, man, watching my brother get mad and upset over the fact that he couldn't put a deck. He eventually got one out there. He had to bring an attorney in. It was expensive. It wasn't the one he wanted, but he did get his deck that he got. He had to bring his own, he had to bring an attorney to fight them, to get it, to get something. And I found out, guess where those complaints were coming from? Jealous neighbors. Yep. Issue out a couple of lawsuits, and people automatically fold real quickly. Somebody made notes to people on board of directors that could easily persuade to shut down your dreams. Freaking neighbors. I don't like neighbors. I don't like neighbors. Never will like neighbors. I don't care. You can be the nicest neighbor in the world. I don't. Because somewhere along the line, there's going to be conflict somewhere. I'd rather have nobody out there. If I could see you, you're too darn close. Now, my neighbors are pretty nice. They're elderly people. I never hardly see them. They don't make any noise. When I do see them, they're real nice. They're polite. They're kind. They always have baked goods all the time. Like literally have baked goods all the time. I literally smell cakes and stuff like that they're making over there. She was Louise. And they're always offering something. Always. I got no problem with shoveling the walk and mowing the lawn and all that stuff when I go over there and I go check on them. You know what I mean? I've met their family members. They're all nice people. It's like having 2 grandmoms. That's literally what it's having. That's the best neighbors I've ever had in my entire life. Best neighbors. I don't blast my music loud. I don't even blast my music at all. I'm hardly ever there. I work with her and take care of my business, and I'm mostly at work. And then for some people saying, well, you know, one person was sitting there saying that, well, no. I am a workaholic. I am mostly at work. When I was at the carrying place, I spent from 9 o'clock in the morning when they opened, and I left at 6 because I had no choice because they shut down. I like to work. As you can see from my track record, I love to work. That's why we tell these people at the end of the day, if you got that much time, you get a second job. I love to work. If you looked at when I had my houses, I worked 24/7 in my houses. I built all types of screens, environments, whatever. I like to work. I got a ton of work to do today. And Mr. Bird's talking too much on camera. You got stuff to do. Get the freak off the street. I need a freaking machine that sits on my table and goes, what the freak are you doing? You got things to do today. Get the freak off the stream. All right. Taco, you need to learn to talk. You still in that thing? Get the freak off there. Don't you got stuff to do today? You got a freaking batch number to do. You got to be at the post office. Remember, I'm at the post office right now. What's that address at? I got to figure out how much it's going to cost me. I know this is not going to cost me like $80 for this package, but if it does, whatever, who cares? That's what we do. We pay for our customers' packages because it's what we do. Till then, I have my $40 projector. That cost me $75. I've had it for a very long time. 50 lumens and 400. You can't tell one from the other. Isn't that pretty cool? So if you do get a 50 lumen, I can't wait to get the Philips in here. The Philips are 50 and 150 lumens and 50 lumens. Oh, by the way, just so you know that when you use these on your screens, make sure your projectors are DLP. They can be LED, but LED projectors have a combination of DLP and LED combined. They're much brighter. If you just get LED, they're much lower. That's what you want to get. All right, people, we'll be back in. I got to go get this information from the post office, and then I have to do some things. Got to run around. We're going to be working on the PlayStation today and getting that working and going and all that good stuff. So let's get something productive done today. Every day, try to learn something new. Always try to learn something new every single day. Every day, try to learn something new. Stay away from the negative nonsense. Try to do things that are positive. Remind you, we're not on this earth for very long. We're not promised when our time will come. But at least while you're here, you're spending it doing something productive. And try to find the Lord, which is very important. I can't tell you that. I can't. If I walk away from here and tell you try to find Jesus, then I didn't do my job at the end of the day. Because if you don't try to find Jesus, I can tell you one thing: the devil will definitely find you, and he probably already found you already. He knows where you're at. He knows where you're at 24/7. He knows where you're at. So you definitely want to find Jesus. You imagine you going outside and the devil just pop up, show his true form, like, "Hello, this is me," and you go, "What?" Yeah, you would lose your freaking mind at the end of the day. What would you do? Who would you run to? The devil pops up in your living room and says, "Hey, this is me." What would you do? You ain't going to call out his name. He's already there. So who are you going to call out? You're going to call out Jesus, aren't you? Why are you going to call Jesus? Why are you going to call him Jesus if the devil pops up in your living room? Oh, because the devil's afraid of Jesus. That's what it is, right? He's afraid of him. So if the devil's afraid of Jesus at the end of the day and you don't have him, then guess who has you? There you go. That's your question right there, in a nutshell. Guess who has you already? And he watches you all day. Watching you right now. Did you think at the end of the day, because you ain't got what, pots and pans floating down your hallway and you ain't hearing something in the background screaming out and carrying on and ranting to your house like your house is possessed? You think because he ain't there? He is there. He's watching you every single day. He's watching you. Waiting for his opportunity to get rid of you. Get you over there where he's at. Watching you all day long. So if he's watching you all day long, who do you want to watch you that can protect you against the devil? You want God to be to watch you. So that's what you need to do. Pray and get yourself right with the Lord. And then some people get saved not because of the devil and get scared of that. Most people get saved because they want to be close to God. They're tired of their lives. Some people get to that point. They get so tired of their everyday life. They're tired of it. Everything they try doesn't work. They're tired of it. And one day they go to a hotel and they find a Bible in there and they start reading it. And next you know, the next day they wake up, they're a different person. Not the same person anymore. Something's changed about them. They found God at the end of the day. And they'll go and tell people at the end of the day, I found the Lord. I was in a hotel, and that'll be their testimony. Everything was going down the drain. My life was in turmoil. And I just decided to pull over on the side of the road and just spend the night at a hotel and sleep it off. And right there, something popped up on a TV show, a preacher speaking to you. Or you look over into the book, get curious to see, I wonder what's inside this drawer, open it up and find a Bible in there. Huh. You know what? I'm going to read this. I'm going to read some of this. And it makes you feel better. It makes you feel safe at the end of the day. You feel better than what you did when you first walked in there. It changed your life. That's God giving you your calling. Some people take it and look at it and close the drawer, and they'll keep going on their miserable lives. And other people will open up that drawer and read that book, and their lives will change. And the next you know, you see that person up there, they got a better life. They've got everything's working out for them. You're going to have your trials and tribulations, but everything's working out for you. It is. And you'll sit there and tell that story. Yeah, man, I was on the verge of just losing it, man. I didn't know what I was going to do, and I sat there on the side of the road, and I saw this hotel. I decided to spend the night and sleep it off, and I read this book, and here I am, man. You'll be telling that testimony for the rest of your life. How's your life now? It is absolutely fantastic. Even a Christian who's having a bad day is having a fantastic day, because we're protected by God. That's why. So if you notice something, Mr. Williams, when those letters came in, did you see me upset? Did you see me angry and say, oh, you know, my life is over. We got to pack everything up. He's going to keep harassing me. No, not at all, period. I know who you are. I know who you serve at the end of the day. You gave me what I needed to prosecute you, to throw you in jail, to get rid of you. So, no. I'm protected by the Lord. You just gave me what I needed. I literally put you in the Bible and prayed about that and asked the Lord, I need to have this taken care of. And sure enough, here comes your letters. I was blessed to be able to find your building. I was blessed to be able to talk to the people in your building. They were very nice and very polite, and they talked to me and understood my situation. They could have sat there and said, well, we have nothing to do with that, blah, blah, blah. No, I didn't say that. They were very nice about it. Mr. Bird, don't worry about it. Send down whatever you need. And then they send down whatever you have. Just send it over to us. We'll get it taken care of. And I sent down the first set of information to them, and the email failed. And the guy was like, I'm going to give you my email. He gave me his email. And I was able to send that information over to him. I contacted them back, and to follow up to see what was going on, everything, they told me they got an attorney. They got an attorney to get ready to take you to court to evict you from the unit. That's what they're for. Those attorneys don't sue you. They don't do that. They don't give you jail time. They're there to evict you from units. That's the attorney for the complex. So, with that being said, yeah, contact them. And no sooner than I contacted them that day, your letters came right after that. And I contacted him again. So we got more letters from him. And this time he's using another address. He used the address on the rec building. It's a rec building. They had like a rec hall for kids and stuff. And he used their building. So he was using their address to commit crimes. Oh, I forgot. We got to file 2 of those for that building and that one because it's 2 separate crimes. Yeah. So, yeah. Now, with the cyber stalking charges, I can show umpteen pictures of me, more than 50 on your YouTube account, which we have documented, of you constantly talking about me, sending letters to me. So now he's being hit with cyber harassment stalking charges, which means you're obsessed with me and you kept sending me pictures. Possibly would you explain all those letters, man? You're obsessed with me. So again, that's all we needed. So I got exactly what the Lord. Oh, swift. I told you, judgment comes swift. It came swift. And then the person when I talked to, he said, anything else that comes, anything you receive, take a picture and send it to us and we'll give it to the attorney. So if you don't believe me, Mr. Williams, and you think I'm lying about this, go down to the office and tell them who I am. Tell them my name is Kenneth Bird, and they know exactly who I am. And they're going to explain to you that you're under an investigation, and if you're found guilty, you will be removed from the building. I guarantee you. All right, people, I got to go. Enjoy your lives. Be safe.